Baseball tonight, it's the Red Sox and the Detroit Tigers. And by the way, if Detroit combines for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow. Get a free small order of curly fries. You can find a copy of the box score in your newspaper or at the Tigers page at foxsportsdetroit.com. Terry Francona and the Boston Red Sox making their first visit into the ballpark this year. The Tigers took 2 out of, or make it 3 out of 4 from the Yankees. Now they'll face the Red Sox. And here's Boston's starting lineup presented by Honda Bloomfield. Marco Scutaro leads it off at short, followed by Dustin Pedroia. And it's Victor Martinez. Kevin Youkilis at first base. J.D. Drew is in right. David Ortiz starting to heat up a little bit, at least in the month of May. He's the DH. Beltre, Hermida, and McDonald are your bottom 3 for the Red Sox. Here is the scouting report on Max Scherzer of the Tigers, presented by Scott's Lawn Pro.
Well, follow the leader. I guess I should say follow the leaders. The last 3 starters the Tigers have ran out there, Bonderman, Porcello, and Verlander, all at least pitched 6 2/3 innings. That's exactly what they'd like to see out of Scherzer in tonight's game. But if he's going to do so, he's going to have to show inside a little bit more aggressively, and not just show it in there, but not be afraid to throw strikes on the inner third of the plate. Let's take a look at the Tigers defensively, always presented by Beaumont Hospitals. You've got 2 rookies in the outfield in Bosch and Jackson. The veteran Ordonez is in right. Inge, Santiago, Sizemore, Cabrera. The infield, Gerald Laird is back behind the plate tonight. And you know that Max Scherzer is towing the slab.
So Max Scherzer on top of the hill now, ready to go to work as Marco Scutaro leads it off. It'll be Scutaro, Pedroia, and Martinez on an absolutely gorgeous night here in downtown Detroit. Finally, the weather breaking a bit. First pitch of the ball game is in for a strike on Scutaro. 67 degrees here at game time. Scutaro batting .270. He's hit a couple of home runs this year. The 0-1 on the outside part of the plate. Good hard fastball at 93 makes it 0-2. Scutaro fighting it a bit right now. He has 1 for his last 10. After spending a couple of years with the Blue Jays, wearing Boston colors these days. And that's fouled straight back. 0-2 the count stays on their leadoff man.
Pretty much last year, Scutaro and Placido Polanco, our very own, were the first couple of free agents that were pulled off the board. You know, usually it's the power hitters or power pitchers that go to other teams first, but it was the table setters and Scutaro and Polanco that landed jobs in new places in a hurry.
And there's a base hit to center field, an 0-2 pitch, bang to center for a single for Scutaro.
Well, Scherzer has to make an adjustment. He threw 2 really good fastballs to Scutaro. The first one at 93 inside, the second one 93 on the outside black, but then he hung a breaking ball there with 2 strikes. He's got to make a better pitch than that.
So here comes Dustin Pedroia. Red Sox decked out in their visiting blue jerseys tonight with the gray pants.
You got to be careful with Pedroia. Always. He leads their team in home runs and RBIs, which kind of gives you an idea of how much the middle of their batting order has struggled this year.
Pedroia was 7 home runs overall this year, but 6 of those came in the month of April, the most ever by a Red Sox second baseman in the month of April.
He is just a baseball rat. He's one of those guys that gets to the ballpark at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and puts his uniform on. He was down in that Red Sox dugout about 4 o'clock by himself, and just watching the Tigers go through some infield practice, and of course later on watching the Tigers take BP.
That's fouled back out of play.
He has struck out, however, more this year than in recent past, and he said that's something that he'd like to correct. The strikeouts that he has so far this year, he's usually one of those guys that has a big swing but has a knack for putting the ball in play.
1 ball, 1 strike on Pedroia, who has hit safely in 9 of his last 11 games. And Scherzer again with a soft toss back to first base.
Last couple of days, Tigers getting a chance to see 2 of the better offensive and defensive second basemen in the league. Cano just left, and Pedroia is now here.
Now the 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike on Pedroia. Rookie of the year in 07. AL MVP in 08. Not bad. And certainly not bad for a guy that is not very big in stature physically. fact, Pedroia is listed at 5'9", 180 pounds, out of Woodland, California. Here's the 2-1. Driven down the left field line, but fouled. 2-2 on Pedroia. Red Sox coming to play at 18-17. Of course, the two teams ahead of them have gotten off to nice starts, despite the fact the Tigers took 3 out of 4 from the Yanks. Both Tampa and the Yanks are ahead of the Red Sox and Toronto, for that matter.
Pretty good division. The majority of the teams over 500 in the talented East.
Inside, 3 balls, 2 strikes on Pedroia.
That's what Scherzer did quite a bit of against Cleveland his last start. He was willing to go inside, but he was not willing to go in there for a strike. A lot of his fastballs, because of the arm slot that he throws from, that low 3/4 arm slot, the fastballs kind of ride up and in to the right-handed batter.
Runner goes on 3-2, and it's swung on and belted high in the air, deep into left field, way back. Bosch will go to the wall, and it's gone. Dustin Pedroia has hit a 2-run homer, and the Red Sox, 2 batters into this game, have a 2-0 lead.
Pedroia said he wanted to hit 20 home runs before the year started, and he is well on his way, leading their club in home runs and RBIs. What a player. What a nice package. At 3-2, you force yourself into throwing a fastball, and you leave the fastball right down the middle. And we've already told you that Pedroia has outstanding hand-eye coordination, and the Bosch just kind of ran out of room. Tough guy for Bosch because he's battling the sun, and he didn't want to take his eye off the baseball, and therefore he is lucky that's just a fence and not a brick wall out there.
So a quick punch in the nose to the Tigers tonight. A 2-run shot by Pedroia. Here's Victor Martinez. Home run number 8 for Pedroia, and RBIs 24 and 5. Martinez, an outstanding hitting catcher, comes in tonight batting just .242, but he's knocked in 17 this year.
Since he's come to the big leagues, there's been no catcher that has been more productive than Victor Martinez. He can mash, and he loves to hit Tigers pitching. Tigers weren't sad to see him go to the American League East, but they don't have to see him as much as they did when he was wearing a Cleveland uniform.
You see the massive offensive numbers, but I guess one of the only knocks on Martinez, his ability to throw out runners from behind the plate. He's never been over the top in that respect. A soft liner on one hop to the shortstop, Santiago. That had played nicely, one gone. First out of the inning. It's going to bring up Kevin Youkilis. Youkilis hitting .303. And really good numbers lifetime against Tigers pitching. .343 with 10 home runs. Scherzer trying to settle in after that 2-run shot by Pedroia. Strike 1 on Youkilis. He's been on base in 13 consecutive games now, and his on-base percentage has always been one of the best in the league. And quickly 0-2. Youkilis also a very good defender. The 0-2 pitch. Just missed 1-2.
Where was that? That looked close enough to being called a strike. Don't know how Youkilis was able to take that pitch.
Two and two now the count. Youkilis has knocked in 17 this year. He's moving in on 100 career home runs. He has 98. And he checks his swing, and all of a sudden from 0-2 it goes to 3-2.
If Scherzer has any confidence whatsoever in the secondary pitches, this may be the time to use one.
He lost in ball 4.
He did go to the changeup, but the changeup faded down and in to Youkilis. These are two of your better offensive ball clubs in the American League. They come in ranked statistically in the top 5 in several offensive categories.
We've often known that, or often talked about the fact that the Red Sox are a very good team in terms of grinding out at bats, much like the Yankees, drawing their walks. The Tigers have become better in that respect this year as well. So these are two teams that take their base on balls. Here's J.D. Drew. There's a strike 0-1 on Drew.
This Red Sox team got off to somewhat of a slow start, but they really have kind of found their stride. With the exception of their starting pitching. Their starting pitching has not been as consistent as it's going to be as we get through May and into the month of June. But the reason why they perked up a little bit is their offense. The batting average is way up. Of course, slugging percentage and runs per game. And they've trotted around the base paths a few times as well.
A little bit outside. 2 balls and 1 strike on Drew.
Already a very stressful first inning here for Scherzer.
Red Sox 3rd in the American League in walks. The Tigers are 4th. Bouncing ball first base side, foul. 2-2 on Drew. And that was pitch number 24 thrown already by Scherzer here in the first inning.
You talk to a lot of people that watch this Boston Red Sox team on a daily basis, and they will tell you they really miss that element of speed at the top of their batting order, with Jacoby Ellsbury being on the disabled list right
now. Low, 3-2. David Ortiz on deck. 3-2 pitch with the runner going, and it's a ground ball base hit out of the reach of Brandon Inge into left field. Euclid is coming to third base, and he is in there standing up. Drew has a single to left. And the Red Sox looking for more now with only 1 out.
Well, 3-2 changeup here, and this appears to be the one that kind of fades away from the left-hander, but that's exactly what Drew was looking for, and he stayed back long enough to hit the ball sharply right past Inge, right down that third baseline. Usually left-handers don't go right down the line with any authority whatsoever. Early phone call tonight.
Rick Knapp on the phone, and this hopefully won't be one of those nights where they have to go to the pen early, but just in case, they're starting to stir out there. Here's David Ortiz. Ball 1 to Big Papi.
And Tigers employ the shift on Big Papi, but not nearly to the extent as they used to apply the shift to David. Santiago. Then you have Sizemore on the other side. Big Papi hits a lot of balls right there.
I was talking to Rick Knapp the other day about the move of Scherzer. As you can tell, he moves his feet quickly, but then just tosses it to first base. And Rick said that his move has never been really good enough to where he's going to pick people off, but more so just to hold runners on. As Brad Thomas starts to heat it up now early in the Tigers' pen. And that's inside. 2-0 on Ortiz.
That's what makes a guy like Verlander really special, is the fact that we watch a lot of big league baseball on a nightly basis, and there's very few guys that we term as having a good right-handed move. Guys with quick feet that can really pick you off if you are sleeping at first base.
Is there a guy in the American League with maybe a better move than Verlander from the right side?
Not that I could think of off the top of my head, to be honest with you. He's about as quick as you can be. And because Verlander is so quick, he doesn't have to slide step, because you don't get too big a lead, and then he's still able to have his normal delivery without rushing and still gives the catcher plenty of time to throw. He was good yesterday too, wasn't he?
Well, he certainly was, and the Tigers needed all they could get out of their pitching staff to beat the Yankees 3 out of 4, and they delivered. So did Justin yesterday, 6 2/3. No runs, 4 hits. Ball outside to Ortiz, and now it's 3-0.
I would not be shocked if Big Papi has the green light right here to swing at a 3-0 fastball. Should he get that fastball right down the middle?
He's swinging. And he fouled it straight back.
As a hitter, like Big Poppy, if Scherzer falls behind 3 balls and no strikes, and you know beyond a shadow of a doubt you're going to get that fastball because he has power, why not swing?
And that's why I could never understand why there are some players that just don't like to swing 3-0. I guess I could never get that. I mean, if you're looking fastball and you get the fastball, why not let it all hang out? 3-1 pitch. Swinging a high, towering drive, deep right center field. This ball is hit well, and that ball is going to go. It's a home run for David Ortiz. A mammoth shot to the deepest part of the ballpark. Oh, did he hit that thing a mile? And the Red Sox have come out swinging it tonight.
Big Poppy got the 3-0 fastball. He fouled straight back, but he had a really good idea of what the next fastball would be like because of the velocity. And the ball kind of crept back on the inner third of the plate, and Big Poppy kicked that left leg up and got it down and hit a seed out of here. He knew it was gone, too. Look at it.
5-0 ball game. That thing cleared the names out there on the wall in right center.
We don't see many go up there. As a matter of fact, really the only one that I've ever seen go up there is the one that Carlos Pena hit a few years ago.
Right. And like you said, that was a few years ago. Doesn't happen very often. And Big Poppy, as if he's saying, word of my demise has been greatly exaggerated.
Well, Scherzer's got to figure it out. He's got to stay out there for a while, and hopefully he can get through this inning and then go out and try to figure out some things to give the Tigers some innings. They'll need some innings against the Boston Red Sox this weekend.
They are saying that home run went 450 feet. Yikes. 5-0 Boston in the lead. Beltre tips it into the glove. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 5 runs, 4 hits, 2 of them home runs. Pedroia and now David Ortiz. Here's the 2-2 to Beltre. Hammer to right field but foul. Beltre just 1 for his last 11 at bats. That home run you were talking about, the Pena home run, went 461 feet.
Yeah.
This one went 450. That's outside. 3-2. The one that Eric Munson hit back in 04. Remember that one to the Camberwell in center field?
I do remember that.
457.
I do remember that.
3-2 pitch. Looped out of play. Well, after the Tigers got brilliant performances for the most part in that Yankees series, the Red Sox have come in here and put up 5 runs in the first.
Already 5 3-ball counts today by Max Scherzer. 3 of them. I mean, 5 of them. Stay in here,
Popped
ball.
up, and it looks like it will as Cabrera goes back to the grass. And Beltre is out. 2 gone. That's going to leave it up to Jeremy Hermida. Scherzer with 39 pitches here in the first inning and 1 more out to get. Hermida batting .240. So there's an even 40 now here in the first inning for Scherzer. The chopper hits slowly to the right side. Scherzer will cover, and they record the out. Big inning, though, for the Red Sox. They bring the bats early tonight. Pedroia and Big Poppy. And it's 5-0. The Tigers starting lineup presented by Big Boy. It'll feature Austin Jackson at the top, Johnny Damon DH tonight. Ordonez in right, Cabrera is at first, Brendan Bosch is out in left field, followed by Brandon Inge. Bottom three tonight, Sizemore, Laird, and Santiago for the Tigers. Bernstein Advantage brings you the scouting report on Clay Buchholz. Get the Bernstein Advantage. We go to bat for you.
Buchholz left spring training as their number 5 starter, but he has pitched much better than that with a 3-3 record, but earned run average under 4. He's also pitched some very good baseball away from Fenway Park. He's 2-0 with an earned run average just a shade over 2. But his last start, he was roughed up. 6 earned runs to their rival, the New York Yankees.
So Jackson leads it off. Tigers have some work to do now. And there's a strike on the outer edge.
Buchholz has got some good stuff. He'll go anywhere from 91 to 95 with his fastball. He's got a big breaking ball, 12-6 curveball they call it. He's got a slider and also a changeup. All 4 pitches.
25 years old, out of Nederland, Texas. He was 7-4 last year in 16 starts at the major league level, and people were starting to wonder if they would ever find a spot for him in that very deep and talented rotation they've had the last couple of years. Here's the 2-1. Backed him out of there, 3-1.
I think Boston might run into some of the issues that the Yankees' young players do. Is the fact that when they want a number 1 starter, like a Lackey, for instance, or if they want to make a trade for Beckett or get a guy like Daisuke out of Japan, some of the younger pitchers get pushed to the back burner.
Meanwhile, Jackson has taken a walk to start things off.
Let's take a look at the Red Sox defensively. In the outfield, they've got Hermida, and then they've got McDonald. McDonald's a really good story. Young kid, former number 1 pick, that spent a lot of time in the minor leagues. Their infield reads Beltre, Scudero, Pedroia, and Euclid. And they've won some Gold Gloves in their infield.
Here's the former Red Sox, Johnny Damon, DHing tonight for Detroit. Damon at 293, just about his career average against his former team, the Red Sox. There's a strike called on the outside corner, 0-1 on Johnny. Damon 4 out of 14 against yet another one of his former teams, the Yankees, the last 4 days.
Tigers just have to find a way to chip away just a little bit here. The Tigers have had a team that has not been afraid to come from behind all season long, although it's difficult against Boston because they have an outstanding ball club. But you have to try to get one at a time here. You can't try to get them all back at once. And Jim Leland, one of those managers that will be walking that dugout every single half inning, trying to rally his troops. They play 9 hard innings every day.
0-2 on Damon. A couple of years ago here at Comerica, he went 4 innings, gave up 10 hits, 5 runs. So the Tigers roughed him up here a couple of seasons ago. Popped him up foul and backed out of play.
If you're the Tigers, just because you're down by 5, if you get a guy on first base that has speed like Jackson, because Victor Martinez behind the plate has not known to be a good thrower, you may as well try to exploit that weakness and get yourself into scoring position. But that sign comes from the skipper, Jim Leland.
Martinez, toward the end of his tenure with the Cleveland Indians, got a little bit better in terms of throwing guys out, but for the most part, not very good. And that one just missed. 1-2.
That's a good breaking ball there.
Well, there's the point you're making.
Yeah, I mean, you may as well.
11%.
It's an 89% chance you're going to make it. Due to the numbers.
1-2.
And apparently Buchholz and Francona have not forgotten about the fact that they need to give Victor every opportunity to throw out Jackson should Jackson be running here.
Slap foul down the left field line. Jackson gets that aggressive lead. He takes 2 or 3 hard, choppy steps toward the bag at second as the ball is being delivered. We were talking about comebacks a minute ago. The Tigers, when they fall behind, not all that bad. They're 9-11, which goes to show how well they have been, or how good they have been at coming back in games. In fact, they rallied from 6 down to beat the Indians back in early April. Going to need some of that comeback ability tonight as the Red Sox hit 2 home runs in the top of the first. Just off the plate, 2-2 on Johnny Damon.
Some of the issues that Buchholz has, he's got good stuff, and the Red Sox know as much, but he becomes preoccupied when he's pitching in a little traffic. He's not pitching in much traffic now with Jackson being on first, but Buchholz has been known as a guy that at times loses his attention span while on the mound.
And another foul. Back out of play. 2-2 to count stays. So Damon doing his best to make Buchholz work out there. Maglio waiting on deck, taking it all in. Damon is 4th in the American League, having scored 26 runs already this year. Fouled away again. A shot there at Terry Francona. He is one of Jim Leland's absolute favorites. In fact, Leland says he really appreciates the way that Francona has been able to march into Boston, take over that club, and with the media scrutiny they get, he's handled it all in a very professional way, and all they've done is won. Of course, they were together at the All-Star game a couple of years ago. Francona was managing, and Leland was one of his coaches. Bouncing ball off the end of the bat, charging on the play, and throwing in the dirt for the out. Scudero got that thing in the dirt. Nice scoop down there by Youkilis.
Looked like Youkilis was off the bag, but apparently Ron Copa thought that he got the bag, but he got crossed up with his feet. It's a nice job here by Scudero coming in to get the ball. Damon has decent speed, and he flipped it over there, and I don't know how Youkilis was able to stay on the bag, but he was able to do so. What a pick.
Awkward looking play.
He has not made an error this year. As a matter of fact, Pedroia at second has not made an error at second base. The only tandem on the right side of the infield this year that has not committed a miscue. So nothing gets through the right side of the infield.
Well, the Tigers have gotten their fill of very good defensive first basemen in these 2 series. Teixeira with the Yankees, and now Youkilis here with the Red Sox. Youkilis way off the bag at first, guarding that hole that Ordonez likes to shoot through on the right side of the infield. The 1-0. Fouled back out of play.
You talk about the fact that Leland absolutely adores what Francona has been able to do. I remember back when Francona got his first opportunity to manage in Philadelphia. It was Michael Jordan that called the Philadelphia Phillies on behalf of Francona and really endorsed Terry. And the Philadelphia Phillies said that had a lot to do with the fact that they hired him when they did. He had only managed a couple of years and was coming out of Double-A when he got that Philadelphia Phillies job.
And Francona, in the meantime, has done a bang-up job in Boston. World Series championships, and of course, career against Leland. He's 33-27, so he's a little bit over 500 against the Tiger skipper. The 2-1. Of course, Leland was quick to say, I love the guy. He's done a great job, but I want to be him.
Terry is a former teammate of mine. We played together in Colorado Springs in 1988 and a little bit in Cleveland as well. John Farrell, his pitching coach. And we were also teammates in the minor leagues with the Cleveland Indians organization. Tito could hit. If it wasn't for his knees, he'd have played a long time in the big leagues.
The 2-2. Old foul.
I call him Tito because that's what everybody calls him that knows him. His name is Terry, but his dad's name is Tito.
Of course, the third base coach here for the Tigers back in the mid-90s, 1996 here in Detroit.
Buddy Bell, wasn't it?
That is correct.
Yeah, they're good buddies.
And again, the 2-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
If you're John Farrell and Terry Francona, yes, you have that 5 spot in the top half of the first inning here that your offense has put up, but you can't be happy with the fact that it appears that it's going to be a long day for Buchholz because he's not been all that efficient with his strike throwing here so far.
He lost in ball 4, and the Tigers get a couple of walks in this inning. So now, as you mentioned, all you got to do is really kind of chip away, and you've got the guy at the plate that you want right now. Perhaps to drive in a couple of runs. Cabrera, who's hit safely in 12 in a row. But career against the Red Sox, surprisingly, his average just 190.
This must be one of the few teams that he has not been able to hit because everybody else, he absolutely clobbers.
1 for 5 career against Buchholz with a couple of strikeouts. Jackson and Ordonez the base runners. Cabrera 376 to lead the American League. That is popped up right side. Euclid giving chase, drifting. And he'll make the catch. Jackson tagging, but bluffing.
Everything that's hit up toward that first baseline today, if it gets up high enough, it's going to blow back to fair territory. And there's a lot of wind blowing out to left field today. This ball goes up, and it starts to blow, and it ends up in fair territory, and it started out way foul. And Jackson got over and bluffed like he was going to try to advance 90 feet, took 5 hard steps and then stopped.
2 outs for Brennan Bosch. 7 for 13 in the series against the Yankees. Fouled away 0-1. Buchholz fastball at 94. There are the numbers on Bosch this year. 16 RBIs in 16 games, and in that stretch, 11 extra base hits. And including his first big league at bat, it was a double off Rich Harden in Texas. Little looper into center field, base hit. Jackson rounding third. He'll come around to score, and Bosch picks up another RBI. And the Tigers are on the board. It's 5-1.
Opposing pitchers continue to try to fool Brennan Bosch. But Bosch is up there swinging at all strikes, whether it be a fastball, whether it be a changeup. If you get too much plate, as he does here with the changeup, Bosch has long arms, and he's a tall fella, so he can reach out and get that baseball and find some grass in the outfield for a huge 2-out base hit. He has been impressive. That is a good pitch by Buchholz.
That's 17 RBIs for Bosch. Here's Brandon Inge. Martinez blocks it 1-0.
Bosch sort of had his coming out party yesterday when he got a chance to face probably the best left-hander in the game of baseball today in CC Sabathia, and got a couple of hits off of him. One, a big fly.
The 1-0. Inge trying to get it going. Meanwhile, he is hitting .230. Buchholz now, his pitch count starting to elevate a little bit. He's thrown 26 pitches. 1-2. Walks to Jackson and Ordonez. 2-out RBI single for Bosch. Tigers trying to get Max Scherzer some offense back. He gave up the 5 spot in the top of the first inning. Now the 1-2. Bouncing ball to third. That's a fair ball deep behind the bag, but Beltre will tag the bag for the out. Other side retired. Tigers get one back. We go to the second. Is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. And by Comcast. Call 1-800-COMCAST for TV, phone, and internet. Tigers fans and Red Sox fans alike walking into the ballpark tonight. The Tigers down 5-1 as we go to the top of the second. It'll be Darnell McDonald leading it off. McDonald and then Scutaro and Pedroia. 5 runs, 4 hits for the Red Sox. Tigers a run on 1 hit. Scherzer missing 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. The 2 pitchers in the first inning combined to throw 69 pitches. Very lengthy first inning. 6 runs were scored, unfortunately, most of them by Boston. Here's the 1-2, and it's a little looper into right field, base hit. So McDonald has a leadoff single.
Scherzer, way better than he has displayed this year. As a matter of fact, coming over from the National League, he was one of those guys that was averaging at least 1 strikeout per 9 innings. But today, even when he does get 2 strikes, you can't find that legitimate swing and miss pitch.
So Gene Lamont back on the phone, and again they start to scurry in the Detroit bullpen. They had Brad Thomas warming up in that first inning. Here's Scutaro, who singled to start the first. Ball outside, 1-0. Marco batting .275. He signed him as a free agent last December after spending a couple of years with Toronto. He had a career year last year with the Blue Jays. There's a strike called, 1-1.
When we first watched Scutaro when he came up to the big leagues, he was playing for Oakland. He was playing everywhere for the Oakland Athletics. But when he got to Toronto, he kind of inherited that shortstop position and never gave it up.
No, he turned into an everyday player, it seemed, and his at-bats were up the last 2 years. In fact, most of his offensive categories were up. Here's the 1-1. Just outside of the bag down there at third base, 1-2.
A new third base coach this year for Terry Francona, Tim Bogar. DeMarlo Hale who had been there the last 3 years, is now the bench coach for Terry. And Terry's best friend, Brad Mills, is managing the Houston Astros these days. Big Ron Johnson. Play against him. Boy, did he have some power.
Runner goes and it's fouled back, and a huge jump by McDonald.
But Terry's buddy, Brad Mills in Houston, boy, they I guess they're playing a little better now, but they got off to a rough start.
Let's see.
Yep.
13 and 21.
Yeah, rough start.
Ron Johnson's a big guy.
He is. He can hit too. Ron used to be able to hit.
Driven to left field, hit well, but on the move is Bosch, still coming. It's going to drop foul. 1-2, the count stays on Marco Scutaro. So McDonald will head back to first base. Scherzer surrendered homers to Pedroia and Ortiz in the first inning. Max now has given up 8 home run balls this year, which is a team high among the Tiger starters. Ground ball to short, should be 2. Santiago, Sizemore, and there's your double play. 6-4-3. That comes in handy. 2 outs now for Dustin Pedroia. Pedroia 2-run shot in the first inning. He's got 8 home runs now. Paul Konerko leads the way in the American League with 13. Pedroia now is in the top 10 in homers. Rolled foul, 1 ball and 1 strike.
And Dustin's last time up got himself a fastball on a 3-2 count and didn't miss it.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Pedroia with a big rip. 1-2 the count on Dustin, who the last 2 years has led the American League in runs scored. Talking about Jacoby Ellsbury being out of their lineup with some bad ribs. Scutaro batting leadoff, Pedroia batting second. The 1-2. Shot foul back out of play. Jared Bosox missing right now. Mike Cameron has an abdomen problem. Booth Bonser a groin, and Ellsbury the wrist. The 1-2. Bouncing ball to third. Inge plays the hop. Pedroia is out of there. Side retired, so nothing comes of the leadoff single. We head to the bottom of the second here at Comerica. 5-1.
And the Philadelphia Phillies take on Ryan Braun and the Milwaukee Brewers. Coverage begins at 4 p.m. on your local Fox station. A couple of Ryans going after each other.
Both of them hit the ball a long way, too.
Yes, indeed.
There's Sizemore to lead it off as we go to the bottom of the second. Tigers down 5-1. Glad to have you with us tonight. Tigers and BOS Sox opening up a 3-game weekend set. Sizemore batting .217. He's followed by Laird and then Santiago. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Sizemore 0 for 9 in that series against the big bad Yanks. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ooh, look out. Got out of the way of that one somehow. 2-1. Buchholz wears the number 11, which I guess is an odd number for a pitcher. He used to wear 61, which is not a whole lot more normal anyway. But according to the story that we read, he, as an 8-year-old, since he was 8 years old, he wore the number 11 until he got to the big leagues where his teammates had that number. That has popped up. The second baseman Pedroia is there. 1 gone. Royce Clayton had it in 2007. Mark Kotze had it in 2008. Casey Kochman had it in 2009. And Buchholz finally got his number this year, 11. Here's Gerald Laird. Laird perked up a little bit offensively against the Yankees, 4 for 9. So Gerald now is hit safely in his last 3. Oh, that came up and in. 1-0. Ground ball to third. Right there is Beltre to gobble it up, and Laird is out 2 away. It'll bring up Santiago. You might remember Buchholz tossed a no-hitter in his second big league appearance. That was back in September of 2007. It was against the Orioles at that time. And you talk about breaking in with a bang, tossing a no-hitter in your second appearance. And that was the first Red Sox no-hitter since Derek Lowe threw one back in 2002. Santiago looks at a ball. You might also remember that year there were 3 no-hitters thrown. Buchholz, Burley, and Verlander, of course, 2007. Strike called, 1-1. Santiago, 300 in his last 17 games. Starting at shortstop tonight. Good pitch on the outer edge, 1-2. Ramon in that series against the Yankees 0 for 5. His average of .275 for the year. And here's the 1-2. Backed him out of there. Buchholz has come in on the first 3 batters in this inning. Sizemore, then he backed out Laird. Now he's 2-2 on Santiago. Way outside, 3-2. First of 3 between these 2 teams. Tigers will have in game 2 tomorrow Dontrell Willis and John Lester. That should be a good one. A couple of lefties battling it. Final game on Sunday. Ball 4. He walked the number 9 hitter, and Buchholz just drops his head, looks straight at the ground, thinking, what did I do? That's his 3rd walk already. Now it's chance for Austin Jackson. I mentioned the Tigers won 3 out of 4 against the Yankees, and they did so by pitching extremely well, because the offense in that Yankees series hit just 195. But the pitching was able to carry the load. There's a strike 0-1. Swing and a miss. Big rip there by Jackson. Austin Walk in the first inning scored a run. He is still leading the American League with 51 hits, although he has cooled down a bit. The Yankees pitching kind of slowed down the Jackson Express. He was 2 for 16 in that series against the Yanks.
And Jackson also admitted he may have been trying to do a little bit too much against his former teams, which is a natural thing to do for a young player, playing against your former teammates and guys you came up with and your former organization. And you have a tendency to probably try to do more than you're capable of. I know, talking to Billy Hall and Dustin Pedroia before the game, they were really excited about getting a chance to watch Jackson. Of course, when you watch a guy from afar and he is playing very, very well, as Jackson had been playing, when you get your first look at him, you want to see if he's for real. And Pedroia and both Billy Hall were excited about watching Jackson.
Ball low, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Meanwhile, Buchholz continues to pile up quite a few pitches himself. .56 for Scherzer, 45 for Clay. There's some good starting pitching in that Yankee series on both sides, really. When you have 3 games where there's shutouts, that means both teams are getting it done.
Bonderman pitched well. Porcello, Verlander.
And even the first game, the relievers did a pretty nice job.
Runner goes, and it's strike 3 call. Jackson didn't like it. All he can do is send back to the bench. Buchholz has a strikeout. Tigers turned away here in the second. Player of the game using your cell phone, text Tigers followed by a space and the player's uniform number to 37338. That's FSDET. See the final results post-game during Tigers Live. And don't forget to check your text response for special offers from our good friends at McDonald's.
What kind of contract do you think Victor Martinez might get with Joe Mauer already being taken care of in Cleveland? He is a free agent after this year.
I don't think it'll be in the same stratosphere as Mauer, but I guess it certainly gives you the bar, that's for sure, the ceiling. Martinez is a very, very good offensive player. The 0-1. How would you rate Martinez in terms of his defense compared to Mauer?
Well, he's not, obviously, he's not as good as Joe Mauer. That much is for certain. I know he's gotten a little bit better as far as his blocking skills and calling games and some of those things, but for whatever reason, the arm still doesn't work very well from behind the plate. I think he's got slow feet, and more than likely will probably end up at first base at some point in time, but they've got Youkilis occupying that position right now.
Here's the 1-2 to Martinez. Rolled foul.
But I guess they do have a number which is very high, and I guess Theo Epstein, when they decide to re-sign Martinez, if they choose to do so, I guess they'll find a happy medium somewhere.
Now the 1-2 pitch. Yeah, I just don't know how close those numbers would be. I think they're in some ways a different player in that I think Mauer's probably better offensively, although Martinez certainly is no slouch, but he also gives you the package defensively as well. The 2-2 lifted back out of play. I mean, Mauer's a guy that's won batting titles, won MVPs, and is known as a very good defensive catcher as well. Victor was picked up from the Cleveland Indians in the Masterson deal. Here's the 2-2 pitch. The shallow center field. Jackson is there. And one gone. Right now, time for a game break. We go back to the studio as Mickey York has some info on the Twins and Yankees. All right, Mickey, we'll keep our eyes on that one as well. The Tigers came in 2.5 behind Minnesota in the Central Division. Kevin Youkilis walked and scored his first time up, and he rolls one to third base right at Brandon Inge. 2 gone. J.D. Drew. Drew had a single and scored a run back in the first. If you tuned in a little bit tardy tonight, you missed the fireworks. A pair of home runs in that first inning, a 2-run shot by Pedroia, and a 3-run shot by Ortiz. Strike one. J.D. is hit safely now in 7 straight. Checked it, strike called on the outer edge, 0-2. And after a really, really rocky first inning, Scherzer has straightened himself out a little bit. He got a double play ball in the second, now looking for a 1-2-3 third.
J.D. Drew has always been known as a 5-tool player, a guy that can hit for average and power, can steal your base, very strong throwing arm in the outfield, and he moves well defensively as well, but he has landed on the disabled list quite often throughout his career. But when healthy, he is one guy that can do some damage. On base percentage, about 400 every year. Younger brother playing for the Arizona Diamondbacks, Stephen Drew. Talented family.
Well, he fits the Red Sox mold. His lifetime on base percentage is .392. That's hit in the air to center and playable for Austin Jackson. It's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Max Scherzer. 2.5 in the books. Damon Ordonez Cabrera coming up. third here at Comerica Park, and boy, that first inning was a big inning for the Red Sox.
Well, you can't throw fastballs right down the middle to dangerous hitters, and Pedroia would fall into that category. And Big Papi, he is starting to heat up himself. He got himself a 3-1 fastball and hit it 350 feet from home plate.
Johnny Damon leads it off, and Maglio Ordonez and Miguel Cabrera in the bottom of the third. 5-1 Yankees lead. They've out hit the Tigers 5-1 as well. Damon bounced out 6-3 his first time up. He rolls this one foul down the first base line. No balls and 2 strikes on Damon. Johnny won a world championship with the Red Sox in 04, a season in which he batted .304 and scored 123 runs that year for the Red Sox, which is the second most he has ever scored in a single season. And he also hit 20 home runs that year.
When Johnny left the Boston Red Sox as a free agent before signing with the New York Yankees, they made a phone call to the Tigers to see if the Tigers had any interest whatsoever in maybe him coming over here and playing in the outfield, because they had started to, sign some guys like Pudge and Maglio, and they were starting to build themselves a really nice club. And the Tigers told Damon that they were committed to Curtis Granderson in the outfield, and they were going to give him a chance to play every single day. So he ended up in New York.
And he ended up spending 4 years with the New York Yankees, won a championship there as well. A little chopper hit to the shortstop, and Scudero has this one. Damon now is 0 for 2.
Hey, fans, see the Tigers take on the Chicago White Sox this Monday at 7:05 and Tuesday at 1:05. All $15 mezzanine seats are just $10. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
Here's Ordonez. Maglio had a walk, did not score in the first. Buchholz has walked 3 already in this game. And the hook is in for a strike. Maglio batting .282. Ordonez against 2 of the best teams in the East over the years, the Yankees and Red Sox, has done some of his best work. He was over .320 against the Yankees, .344 lifetime against Boston. And you're talking about 2 organizations that can roll out some pitching, and have over the last decade. Fouled away, 1-2.
Kind of gives you an idea of how good Maglio has been for him to put up those kind of numbers against those staffs. Very seldom strikes out. Hit for a lot more power when he was younger. A lot more average later on. But still makes lots of contact.
The 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Ordonez. Clay Buchholz out of Nederland, Texas, 25 years old. His 2-2 is on the ground foul. Buchholz was a seldom used shortstop at McNeese State. That was back in 2004. He decided to transfer to a junior college in Texas, Angelina Junior College, and the coaches decided at that point to move him to the mound because they saw a lot of arm strength. And here he is in the big leagues pitching. When he began his college career as a seldom used shortstop.
Joe Dumars, president and general manager of the Detroit Pistons, also went to McNeese State.
In Louisiana. The 2-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now the 3-2 pitch. Driven to right field, base hit. Ordonez goes the other way.
And that is Maglio at his finest. He fell behind very early, but then Maglio is one of those guys that doesn't get afraid to get jammed with 2 strikes. Look how deep that ball is when he makes contact. Now that ball is right over the heart of the plate with very nice concentration with the head down. And when you do all those things correctly, a lot of times you're going to hit the ball crisply somewhere, and every now and then you'll find some grass in the outfield.
Here is Cabrera, who popped up his first time up. That was with 2 men aboard.
Maglio's pulled more balls this year than he has gone to right field. But nonetheless, very nicely distributed in his base hits all over the baseball field. And that's really how you hit 300 throughout a career.
Maglio now 4 for 6 career against Buchholz. Hard ground ball hit to second base. Could be 2. Pedroia's relay is in the dirt and scooped by Euclid. So the double play ends the inning. We played 3 innings here at Comerica. What American League team has the most wins? Pretty straightforward tonight. Since 1901, what American League team has won the most games? And we'll get you that answer a little bit later on. Might be the Tigers. Maybe the Red Sox. Maybe the Yankees. Who knows? Here is Ortiz, who looks at a strike. Ortiz, Beltre, and Hermida. David hit one a long way his first time up. In fact, 450 feet worth of 3-run homer. Papi's 5th of the season. He's a 5-time All-Star.
One of the more likable guys in the game of baseball, without question. He's gone through a couple of tough seasons at the beginning. The last couple of years gotten off to slow starts, which has kind of put a frown on his face, but he is still a gentle giant and a tremendous professional.
Well, the one thing that comes to mind for me is you see that he's hit 321 career home runs, is that he has had 10 career walk-off homers. I mean, he's hit some dramatic home runs. That's banged back out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
No full-time designated hitter has hit more home runs than David Ortiz, and he added to that total back in the first inning.
Scherzer's 2-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes on David Ortiz, whose career began in Minnesota but took off in Boston.
What a nice sign that was for Boston. Minnesota non-tendered him, didn't give him a contract, and Boston picked him up for nothing.
I still say that you probably weren't going to find a better middle of the order combination than Ortiz and Manny Ramirez when they were together in Boston. I mean, think about all the damage they did.
I think we might be able to compile some numbers, the damage they did together, and how Big Papi has struggled with Manny not being behind him.
Tipped off the mask of the catcher, Laird. Well, I'm sure that's had something to do with it, without question. Ortiz hit .238 last year, yet he finished with nearly 100 RBIs. He had 99. Swung on and belted down the right field line. That ball is way back, and that ball is gone.
Goodness gracious, Big Papi.
Ortiz has hit his second home run in this ball game.
He's hit about 1,000 feet of home runs already today.
And it's 6-1 Red Sox. Another towering fly ball.
Most left-handers that have power, they love the ball that's inside, and they really like the ball that's down and in. And apparently this one's off the plate inside, and Big Papi somehow pulls his hands inside, and, well, you hear the sound. Goodness gracious.
Ortiz serving notice that apparently he has plenty left in the tank. That's his 6th home run.
One thing that Big Papi continues to get, and that's his manager continuing to put him in the lineup, even when the fans are asking for him to sit down and other guys get more playing time. And Francona just keeps running him out there because he understands that sooner or later Big Papi's going to get it together, and apparently he's getting it together.
394 feet on that one, so if you total it up, 844 feet of home run. One and two is the count of Adrian Beltre, hitting .310. Those two at bats by David Ortiz, the first two that he's had career against Scherzer. And they've resulted in home runs. The 1-2 is swung on and missed. Beltre is out of there. One away. That'll be the first strikeout for Scherzer. By the way, this game tonight is available in crystal clear high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD, sponsored by Comcast. Ball one on Hermida. Hermida bounced out in the first inning, 0 for 1. 6 runs, 6 hits now for the Red Sox. And they've done all their scoring on homers tonight. Hermida, former Florida Marlin. They picked him up in a trade in November, and he is from Georgia. He grew up in Marietta, and we talked about Adam Everett being part of that big baseball program down there in the Atlanta area, East Cobb, and it also produced Jeremy Hermida. He played in that organization growing up. A little bit outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. So, as you would expect, his favorite team growing up, the Atlanta Braves. And he takes a walk. Hermida is on with 1 out. Scherzer has walked 2. The other one was Euclid in the first, and he came around to score. And there's Gene Lamont back on the phone. And Jeff Jones down at the other end will get somebody warming up. Here's Darnell McDonald. Fouled away, 0-1. Brad Thomas is up again. As we play here in the fourth inning, Max Scherzer has thrown 89 pitches. Roll toward third, behind the bag, Inge fires the second one. Sizemore's relay, not in time. McDonald beat it out. It was close. Sizemore got rid of that ball as quickly as he could.
It's a nice feed here by Inge. He throws from underneath, and then you get Sizemore also grabbing it and flipping the ball from underneath, and using the base to protect himself from Hermida, who was barreling down on it.
Close play. And McDonald beats it out. Inning still alive for Marco Scutaro. He's 1 for 2. Five in the first inning for the Red Sox. They've added one more here in the fourth. Ortiz has homered twice in this game for the Red Sox. 1-0 on Scutaro. We're talking about Marco's career year last year with the Toronto Blue Jays. He scored 100 runs, hit 12 homers, an everyday player for the Blue Jays. He was backing up all kinds of people in Oakland with all the injuries they had. Crosby and Chavez, Ellis, played all over the place with the Athletics. Scutaro is wearing one of those elbow pads that you normally see the big power hitters wear. Here's the 2-0. Ground ball to third. Inge has been busy tonight. He'll go the short way, and that is that. So the Red Sox settle for one. They get it on the home run by Ortiz. Bosch, Inge, Sizemore coming up. Fourth inning here, and Brennan Bosch will lead it off. Of course, he has taken Carlos Guillen's spot in the lineup, and earlier today, Guillen, well, he might be getting a little bit closer. He has that left hamstring strain that he's trying to work through, and was working out on the field before the game. Here's Bosch to lead it off. And he swings on the first pitch and fouls it back. It'll be Bosch, Inge, and Sizemore.
Carlos taking some flips at second base position today. I know Carlos kind of lobbied to the manager and general manager in the offseason when Polanco left as a free agent to possibly play some second base. But at that point in time, Jim Leland and them weren't having that. Think they've changed their mind?
Well, I mean, if you want to be honest about the situation, you know, obviously Scott Sizemore has it right now, but offensively he has not really gotten into a groove. And if you can find a spot for Guillen to get his bat in the lineup, certainly second base not quite as demanding on his hamstrings or knees or the back as the shortstop position would be. At least I don't think it would be. Bosch cuts and misses 1 and 2. Maybe they are changing their mind. That's the one thing Carlos has going for him. He can play a lot of different spots, or has played a lot of different spots on the field. Of course, most recently, left field, where Bosch is now playing, and Brennan had an RBI single in the first, getting the Tigers their only run so far. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Bosch. Inge and then Sizemore to follow.
Playing that second base position is a lot tougher than shortstop, and the toughest thing for most guys that change from one side to the other side of the bag is the double play ball. And with the runner coming in on you, you can't see that base runner, and that's one of the toughest things that guys have said, that they have a difficult time of learning and getting used to, is going from shortstop to second base.
I think he has enough athleticism to move to second.
Yeah, I think he could probably handle that. You know, be honest with you. I mean, if he's in shape, I mean, I don't see why he can't play that position. You don't need a tremendous amount of range. If you do have good range, that's a bonus. But if you get your first baseman playing off the line, as a lot of the first basemen are playing these days, you can kind of cut down the range that your second baseman really needs.
Three and 2 on Bosch as he starts things off here in the 4th against Buchholz. Only 2 Tigers hits against Buchholz, both singles. Out in front, and he pops it up, shallow center. McDonald is there, and Bosch is out, 1 gone. Gonna bring up Brandon Inge. Beautiful night here at the ballpark. Temperature in the 60s, the upper 60s at the start of this one tonight. Much different atmosphere than in that Yankees series, where it did nothing but rain and was very cold. Should be a nice weekend as well, so take these opportunities to come out and see the Red Sox and Tigers. That's in the shallow center, and McDonald runs this one down as well. 2 gone.
McDonald, nice story. And former #1 draft choice way back in 1998, and before this year had only spent 68 days in the major leagues. He told me today he had been in AAA about 10 different years. Very highly regarded prospect coming out of Colorado. Perseverance. A lot of winter ball, Mexico, Dominican. It's been everywhere. And they got off to a slow start this year. They called him up, and he's gotten some big hits for him.
Yeah, in fact, he had a walk-off hit in his first game.
Has 3 assists from the outfield.
It's funny how that works out.
Yeah.
You stick around long enough, you can get your chance.
We work out the same gym in the offseason. He lives out in Arizona, and I see him every time I go in there. So that must mean he's in there quite a bit. And he just works hard. I mean, every single year at the end of the season, he's in there working every single day, trying to get himself prepped and ready for another opportunity.
The 0-2 to Sizemore is swung on and missed, and that is that. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Clay Buchholz. Clorox Laundry Simplified, and by Jaguar. Visit your local Jaguar dealer to experience the 2011 Jaguar XJ. Beautiful night here in the Motor City. Nighttime settling in on downtown Detroit, where Boston leads it tonight 6-1. As we send you now to the top of the 5th inning, and it'll be Pedroia, Martinez, and Youkilis, 2, 3, and 4 in the lineup, facing Max Scherzer. And the first pitch is in for a strike on Pedroia. Dustin had a 2-run homer in the first, got them off and running. In fact, 2 batters into the game, the Red Sox led 2-0.
And Dustin Pedroia played collegiately at Arizona State University, and while he was there, what a player he was. He got a lot of votes for a Golden Spikes Award the year that he left there. My son Rod Jr. also played there at the same time that Pedroia played there, and they were roommates on the road. And Rod used to always tell me that Pedroia was an outstanding player and would play a long time in the big leagues. I was one of those that didn't believe so.
Really?
And I guess it had a lot to do with his size.
Yeah.
I mean, something that he's been battling everywhere, and he said he's had to prove everybody every step of the way wrong because of his stature. But I watched him for 3 years, and he excelled, but I did not believe that he would turn into this kind of big league player. And Rod Jr. knew, obviously, because he watched him every single day. He's turned into an outstanding big league player.
What did he like about it?
Well, he liked his work ethic. He was the first one in the clubhouse every single day, last one to leave, just a gym rat. And he's always been that way. Since Little League, he says he's had that little chip on his shoulder. Because everybody's always told him, you're too small, you're not going to be able to do it. And he used that to his advantage in a big way.
The 1-2.
They had a really good team there. Andre Ethier was on that team. Travis Buck was on that team as well. They didn't have a lot of pitching, which is why they didn't win the World Series that year. But, boy, they had some offense.
I was going to say, did they lose any games?
Yeah, they lost. They didn't have pitching. Pitching wins.
How about Ethier? 385 to lead the National League.
He's nice.
1-2 pitch. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pac-10's got some good baseball. Where would you rank the Pac-10? I mean, I know there's some other, certainly some power conferences. The SEC's got some good teams. ACC.
I say top 3.
Top 3?
I say top 3, really. I mean, we start talking about Stanford and Cal, and Arizona State, and U of A, and Washington. And it's and the weather's always good too. It's a UCLA, USC. It's an outstanding division.
100 pitches now for Scherzer. Well, our own Brennan Bosch went to Cal. He played in the Pac-10. Here's Victor Martinez. 0-for-2 for Victor tonight. Scherzer threw a lot of pitches in that first inning in which he faced 8 batters, and that ran his count up quickly in this one tonight. Strike 1. Martinez 0-for-2. In fact, Scherzer threw 41 pitches in that first inning alone. And then kind of settled in for the next 2 innings. Gave up the home run in the 4th inning to Ortiz. Brett Thomas has pitched just about a ball game of his own in the bullpen tonight. Been up 3 separate times.
And usually when they get you up for that 3rd time, they get you in a game, which means that more than likely this is Scherzer's last inning. And the pitch count will tell you as much.
Lifted toward left field, hit pretty well. Bosch is on the run. Almost to the warning track. 2 gone.
Hey fans, as soon as the game ends, our coverage continues with Tigers Live. You will hear from the manager Jim Leland and the players, plus we'll break down the game and show you some highlights. Tigers Live from the Call Sam Studios immediately after the game here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Now Youkilis walked, scored a run in the first. An all-star the last 2 years, Youkilis, both in 08 and 09. Pulls that one foul back into the Tiger dugout. 0-2.
Euclid is somewhat unorthodox in his approach. I mean, when he starts with his hands, he will grab the bat with the left hand on the knob, and it looks like he turns about 3 times when coming down to get into his ready spot, and the third time he inches the right hand down to where it makes contact with the left hand. I was asking him last year, I mean, where'd you get that from? I mean, is it something that you do consciously? And he said, you know what, Rod, not really. I just kind of noticed one day that my hitting coach said I was doing it, and I was having success doing it, so I've never changed it.
I mean, you don't see anybody do this. The 1-2 is hammered to center field, hit a ton. Jackson going back, still going back to the wall, leaps and makes the catch.
It's a long, long way out there.
420 to dead center, and Euclid falls short. Nice running play by Austin Jackson. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Bottom of the 5th inning. Tigers had some work to do. They've managed only 2 hits and only 1 run. And in the 5th inning, it'll be Gerald Laird to be followed by Santiago, and then Austin Jackson. Played Buchholz out there. He had a 1-2-3-4. First pitch down low, 1 ball and no strikes on Laird, who bounced out back in the 2nd. Gerald at 173 right now, had 4 hits in the Yankees series. 2-0.
It's getting to that point now with Gerald where you just want to get over that 200 mark. I mean, you want to get off the interstate and you want to get to 200 and start to build your way up from there. But trust me, you don't want to see that 173 batting average 6 weeks into the season.
I think you're also getting to the point, Rod, where you see the at-bats pile up, and the more at-bats you get, the tougher it is to kind of build on that number.
No doubt. No doubt. And the confidence, too. I mean, Laird can say whatever he wants to say about I'm feeling good and I'm hitting the ball sharp and all those other things, but you want to see some knocks, too.
Hit to left field and run down by Hermida.
And he's done a lot of that this year. I mean, obviously he's at 173, but there has been at least 10 balls that I can count that he has hit right on the button and has nothing to show for it.
We'll bring up Santiago. The 2 Tigers hits tonight, the Bosch RBI single in the 1st and the Ordonez base hit. That was back in the 3rd.
If Santiago's thinking about bunting, this is a tough group to bunt on. They got Gold Glove winners all through the infield. Euclid has gotten one. Pedroia has gotten one, and of course Beltre. down at third, has won a Gold Glove as well. It's kind of what they went for in the offseason. They wanted to improve defensively. That's why they signed Mike Cameron to put him in center field, move Ellsbury to left. And they got Scudero, and they also signed Beltre as free agents. Kind of something that we talk about from time to time, pitching and defense. A lot of teams are really concentrating on defense.
The 0-2 is high. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Santiago. Buchholz has been helped out by 1 double play ball. And he got him, strike 3. Third strikeout. That'll bring up Jackson, who before the game received an award today. The American League's Rookie of the Month for the month of April 2010.
All smiles.
Congratulations to Mr. Jackson, who finally got his award today. 364 in the month of April. Well deserved. Cuts and misses 0-1. Jackson tonight a walk and a strikeout. He walked and scored in the first inning.
Buchholz starting to settle in. He's been much more efficient in the last couple of innings. Also mixing in all his pitches, the slider, the curveball, the changeup, and throwing them for strikes.
On the ground to third, right there is Beltre. Slings one over to first, and another 1-2-3 inning for Clay Buchholz. It'll be Drew Ortiz Beltre coming up. American League team has the most wins. Pretty straightforward. Who'd you guess? It is the New York Yankees. Over 95, almost 9,600 wins since the early 1900s. Here are the top 5. If you're wondering, it's New York, Boston, Cleveland, Detroit, and Chicago. The answer to your trivia question tonight, courtesy of AT&T. Brad Thomas, the new pitcher. Scherzer done after 5 innings. J.D. Drew will start things off. 6-1 Boston. It'll be Drew, then Ortiz, and then Beltre. Here are the numbers on Thomas in the wall side windows pitching change. Ball outside. 1-1 on Drew. J.D. a single and a fly ball. And he's been really swinging it. Drew now has 16 hits in his last 34 at bats. Cuts and misses there, 1-2. Got him. Strike three. Tom Hallion with that big strikeout call. One away. Time for our game break right now. We go back to Mickey York in the studio. More on the Yankees and Twins, Mick. Well, that's some good news. The Yankees going back home after the Tigers beat them 3 out of 4. Here's Ortiz. Ooh, big Poppy going for his 3rd homer of the night. Three-run shot in the 1st, a solo homer in the 4th. There's that shift.
Yeah, Santiago a little further on the other side of the bag this time with nobody on base. But where he's been hitting today, you need to put a couple of them white uniforms in the right field seats.
At least 10 rows back.
Yes, indeed.
Now the 1-1.
Shift or no shift. Well, he doesn't miss Manny tonight, but with Manny, this was the top duo in all of baseball for a number of years. They did a lot of damage. And I mean a lot of damage.
Power numbers aside, look at the average. Nearly 300 with Manny, 242 without. One-two on Ortiz.
And some will say, well, what about Jason Bay? And Jason Bay hit, what, 36 home runs last year. Pretty much batting in the middle of the batting order. But Manny's going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that or
Manny,
agreed.
Bay's not.
There's a difference there. The 1-2 outside, 2-2.
I mean, Manny provided such protection for Ortiz. I mean, such protection.
Did he hold up? No, he did not. He went around. Strike called by Rapuano. 2 outs.
Good call. He tried to hold up, but he got out there too far.
And so Poppy now 2 for 3. Here's Beltre. Beltre's 0 for 2, pop-up strikeout. Beltre this year has already committed 7 errors this season. He committed 14 the entire season last year. But he's a Gold Glover, multiple Gold Gloves, 07 and 08. The 0-1 pitch. Right back up the middle, and it's going to get through. Base hit. 2-out single for Beltre, and that'll be the 7th Boston hit of the night. That leaves, or brings up, Jeremy Hermida. Hermida with a walk and a ground out. Tigers tonight have been out hit 7-2. Ball 1 from Thomas. Tigers got behind the 8-ball early tonight. They gave up 5 runs in the very first inning and a pair of homers, and their offense has been limited to just 2 hits by Clay Buchholz. Now the 1-0. High fly ball left field, hit pretty well, but Bosch is circling under it. And that's all for the Red Sox. No runs, a hit, 1 left. Bottom of the 6th coming up.
deep to center field, 420 away from home plate, but Action Jackson able to run it down and brace himself for a little bit of contact against a padded wall in center field and a smile as well. Coors Light Freeze Cam is always brought to you by your Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Well, let's see if the Tigers now can get the bats rolling. They've managed only 2 hits against play Buckholz, and they will have their 2, 3, and 4 guys coming up. They got Johnny Damon, they've got Maglio, and they've got Miguel Cabrera. First pitch is down low to Damon, who is 0 for 2 with a couple of ground balls to the shortstop Scudero. Wave and a miss.
Pretty good pitch there by Buckholz. Looked like a changeup at 80 miles an hour. And he's thrown quite a few breaking pitches the last couple of innings, and he's been able to locate those pitches very well.
Ground ball right past the pitcher, but backing him up is Pedroia, and he'll throw him out.
Damon's been playing pepper with the infielders today.
That's 8 in a row retired by Buckholz. Going to bring up Ordonez. Clay had some big-time numbers in the minor leagues, and that's why many were saying, how is this guy ever going to get to the big league level with their staff? But he's in the big leagues now. He was a career 31-14 in the minor leagues. And his ERA was an impressive, get this, 2.42.
I'm not sure exactly how it transpired, but I'm thinking that Cleveland had a chance to get him as well when they got Justin Masterson, and they chose Masterson over Buckholz. But in years prior to that, every time the Red Sox would entertain the thought of making a deal for anybody.
Well, that thing whistled right by his cap.
Throwing duck. Buckholz's name would come up, but the Red Sox refused to trade Buckholz because of some of those numbers you just talked about in the minor leagues.
Check this out.
Throw, and then you duck.
Lincoln Mercury Exmo says that was hit pretty hard. Here's Cabrera. The other thing about Buckholz in the minor leagues is that his strikeout to walk ratio is 4-1, which is really impressive.
Outstanding. He does a lot of things right, even since he's been in the big leagues. I mean, his ground ball to fly ball ratio is really pretty good. The only problem that he has had is one we brought up earlier, is that when he gets himself in certain situations, he tends to pay way too much attention to the base runner and loses his train of thought or where he wants to go and what he wants to do, and will yield a big inning.
He's ahead of Cabrera, 0-2.
Big Cabrera hitting a cool 370. 6 weeks in.
Tonight, though, a double play ball and a pop-up. Chopper back toward the mound. Buckholz has it. They'll get Cabrera, and Ordonez moves to second.
Did you see where Trey Hillman, Kansas City Royals manager, was fired yesterday?
I did, and I can't say that I'm totally surprised, I suppose. I heard an interview today with Trey, and he kind of felt the same way. His team went on a losing streak, and he kind of could feel that it might be in the works. Ned Yost, some of our news and notes, takes over there. Of course, the Twins have that big 3-game series in the Bronx, and can Dallas do it again? Dallas Braden going after the Angels tonight. He was kind of an unlikely source of a perfect game, wasn't he?
He sure was.
But he put it all together.
Yes, he did.
Here's Bosch.
Nice touching story regarding Dallas Braden, with his grandmother raising him when his mom passed away when he was in high school. Just a real touching story. And she was in the ballpark that afternoon when he threw the no-hitter and was able to come down the field and celebrate with her grandson.
Grandma, by the way, is no nonsense. No nonsense.
You don't mess with the babies.
No.
Moms, grandmothers, you don't mess with the boys.
Ball 2 to Bosch. It's going to be Dallas Braden and Joe Saunders tonight out there on the West Coast. Bosch in this game, an RBI single in 2 at-bats. Tigers trying to get another one back. They'll take a 2-out hit. Bosch's RBI hit in the first was with 2 outs. Driven in the air to center. Hit pretty good but playable. McDonald is back to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left, 6 in the books. You've got McDonald, Scudero, and Pedroia on the way. Performance on this date in baseball history, May 14th, 1965. Carl Yastrzemski hits for the cycle with 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, and a 12-8 loss to your Detroit Tigers. And what a player Yaz was.
That's for sure.
Look at some of these numbers.
Ooh.
The one thing, I mean, aside from all the big numbers he has, 23 Major League seasons, all with the Boston Red Sox, which is something that is going to be very rare from here on out.
Last Triple Crown winner, 1967.
What a player, the Yaz. Here's the 0-1 pitch. It's driven toward left field. Bosch on the move. He's going to play it on 1 hop. Single for McDonald. And now the Red Sox with 8 hits. Going to bring up Marco Scudero. Scudero up there with a single in 3 at-bats. Ball 1, good stop by Laird, 1-0. Scherzer started the game, and then Thomas came on in the 6th inning. Struck out a couple of batters, gave up a hit, but no damage. And now working here in the 7th. Two and on Scudero. We're talking about the injury to Ellsbury, who was hitting .333 at the time that he went on the disabled list with some bad ribs. The 2-0 pitch is fouled back out of play.
It took them a while before they hit their stride offensively. They went to Ellsbury and they went to the disabled list. They are hitting now. They've got too many professional hitters. But you do miss that speed at the top of the batting order. A guy that can get on and steal second and make it easier for you to manufacture a run. Speed also puts lots of pressure on the catcher, the pitcher.
Here comes Maglio on the charge. 1 gone. Yeah, the Red Sox this year have swiped only 11 bases.
Yeah, they don't run much. They don't bunt much. They don't run much. And Francona does not put on hit and runs. He just kind of sits back with his arms folded and just kind of lets them play.
Well, the Angels have swiped fewer bags, and that's not the Angels, but the Orioles rather.
I was getting ready to say that's shocking.
Yeah, that's a.
I know Figgins is gone, but that's still shocking.
That's a major mistake right there. There's a strike on Pedroia. Dustin hit a 2-run homer back in the first. That's rolled foul, 0-2. Well, since the start of the 07 season, Pedroia has hit 154 doubles. That's the most in the major leagues. And he's got now 8 home runs this year. He's quite a player. He's already won a ton of awards. And a .307 career hitter. Shoots that one foul back out of play. He's just about there right now in terms of his batting average for this year. He's at .299. Just another example of how you don't have to be big and strong to play the game of baseball. One ball, 2 strikes. Thomas in his second inning of work here. Scherzer, for the rocky start that he had, throwing over 40 pitches in that first inning, at least gave the Tigers 5. He set them down in order in the 5th before he departed.
That helps save your bullpen to a certain degree.
Ground ball to second base. There's one. Santiago with the relay. There's 2. Double play for 6-3 stretch time. American Park, Tigers face these Red Sox. It'll be a 105 start. And by the way, all kids 14 and under receive a Brandon Inge replica glove. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. That's a nifty little giveaway there. Back here at the ballpark, stretch time. Tigers running out of time here. They got to put something together, down 6-1. Brandon Inge will lead it off. Inge, Sizemore, Laird against Buchholz. He'll get to the 100 mark this inning. He starts the inning with 95 pitches thrown. Brandon tonight with a ground out 5-all, 0 for 2. Here's the 1-0. Tigers see Buchholz tonight. They'll see Lester tomorrow, and then Lackey. 3-0 on Brandon Inge. Tigers also have the White Sox coming in on this homestand. A couple of games, Monday, Tuesday, then it's back on the road. 3-0 pitch.
Tigers have had a month of where they played just about every single day, and they played some really good teams in that span.
That's what has really made the fact that they're 5 games over at this point really kind of impressive.
They played a home and road against the Minnesota Twins, a home and road against the Angels. The Yankees have come to town, and now Boston is here.
There's Sizemore. Rolled foul. So Buchholz now has hit 100. Activity in their bullpen. Hard throwing Daniel Bard. The 0-1. Strike call.
Daniel Bard might be the only other pitcher in the American League that can touch 100 miles an hour.
Not a picnic to face him, that's for certain. Here's the 0-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Sizemore. Scott tonight a pop up and a strikeout. Buchholz threw 93 pitches in his last start, but he gave up 6 runs in 5 innings before he was taken out. In fact, coming into this game, he had given up 10 runs in his last 10 2/3. 1-2. And Buchholz has pitched a whole lot better this year on the road. This is his 3rd road start. Came in at 2-0 on the road. Here's his numbers, just about at his average. About 106 pitches per start. And the 1-2. Fought it off. 3 Tigers hits tonight. That has been it. All singles, 2 of them by Ordonez. Maglio with 2 singles and a walk, as a matter of fact. He's been on base all 3 times. Two and 2 on Sizemore. Scott had a whale of a year last year to earn this opportunity. The Tigers minor league player of the year. In fact, he played in the Futures game in St. Louis last year before the All-Star game, where the best prospects get together. Lifted toward right field. On the move is J.D. Drew coming toward the line. 1 gone. And Sizemore now 0 for 3. Going to bring up Gerald Laird. Gerald is 0 for 2, ground ball and a line out. Hit the ball sharply to left fielder Hermida in his last at bat. Ball inside. Gerald's daughter, his name is Berlin, and when Gerald was back on the West Coast and he's from Southern California, he had Berlin's name tattooed on his arm when we were out on the West Coast the last time. And Berlin, I believe, is a little girl. She's 3 years old.
Those forearm tattoos have become kind of popular these days, I guess.
Yeah, they have. There it is. We'll get a clear shot of it. Berlin. Brandon's got his kids tattooed on each arm. Now the 2-0. High, 3 balls, no strikes. Tattoos weren't as big as they are now when you played.
No, they weren't. Not when I was growing up. I mean, about the most that we could do is get your ear pierced.
That's it.
And that was a struggle. And some mama said, you got to wait till you get 18 to get out of my house. As far as all these tattoos and stuff is concerned, I don't know how they get away with it.
Well, and it's not just baseball. It's really every sport.
Yeah, it's that generation. And they say they're addicting. They say once you get one, you want your next one.
That's what I hear.
And another one.
There's a walk.
And Buchholz is about done.
And that's 5 walks now. Here goes Francona. So Francona has seen enough here with the 5th walk. And Buchholz, it appears, will be taken out of this game. So he'll give up the baseball. And as the Red Sox go to the bullpen, we'll step aside. We're in the 7th inning with Boston leading at 6-1.
At Bat 2010, featuring play-by-play, video highlights, and live audio broadcast. Visit Tigers.com today for more details.
Clay Buchholz is done. He will give way to the bullpen. 6 1/3 in this one.
5 walks, and he got away with it. Tigers just really couldn't do a whole lot against Buchholz, even though he's a little erratic in the strike zone, but he has left a couple of runners out there that are his responsibility.
Meanwhile, Daniel Bard will take over.
22 strikeouts, which ranks 3rd in the American League for relievers. He's got a power arm. 6 walks, opponent's batting average at 188. And he's their Joel Zamaya. Fastballs anywhere from 97 to 100 miles an hour.
Santiago hit by the pitch. Yikes. Ay. Boy, is that going to hurt. Here comes Kevin Rand.
The arm is just numb right now.
Talk about taking one for the team.
Wow. 98-mile-per-hour fastball. Nowhere for Ramon to go. They got him right on the elbow, too, it looks like. Ugh.
Santiago almost came close to swinging at that pitch.
That's what Bard was asking for.
Just the sound of that just makes the toes curl. So he's all right. He's going to stay in the game. They're loaded up now, and this is kind of opening the door a little bit here for the Tigers.
Well, as hard as Bard throws, if you're Jackson, you have to make sure that you set your sights at the bottom of the strike zone, and that will help you lay off that fastballs in the upper 90s. That's around your belt buckle or higher. That ball's tough to get to. The ones down, you can get to those. Oh, my goodness.
Wow. Look at that.
That's not fair. 98 to 84.
If I'm not mistaken, Daniel Bard pitched at North Carolina on the same staff with Andrew Miller.
You're correct.
Miller, of course, the former #1 pick of the Tigers.
How did they not win the College World Series?
Exactly. Swing and a miss.
That's that fastball, but it's awfully hard to lay off of when a guy's got that kind of velocity. You know the fastball's coming. You pretty much have to guess in one spot, and if you don't guess in that spot correctly, usually the ball is by you before you start your swing.
Inge at third base. You got Laird down at second. You got Santiago with his elbow barking down at first base. Only one out. Way outside.
There you go. The only other guy I've seen touch 100 this year, and I knew he would do it.
So Buchholz hoping that Bard can slam the door here in the 7th. 5-run spread, 6-1 Boston. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. 98 and around the letters. No chance. 2 away. First strikeout for Bard. And they remain loaded now for Johnny Damon. .391 career with the bases loaded. Bouncing ball slowly toward third. Beltre has it. And inning over. So Bard comes out, hits the batter, but gets out of the jam. 2-run shot in the first inning, got the Red Sox off and running. Then Ortiz went on to hit 2 more. Maglio Ordonez, a couple of singles, 5 for 7 career against Buchholz, who has since departed the game. And you total that all up, and it's 6-1 Boston. And Brad Thomas back to the hill, facing Victor Martinez, and then Kevin Youkilis and J.D. Drew. First pitch is a little bit low, apparently. 1-0 on Martinez. Victor 0 for 3, ground ball and a couple of fly balls. Martinez made 3 All-Star teams with the Cleveland Indians.
He is also swinging a whole lot better from this side of the plate than he is hitting left-handed. Coming into play today, Martinez hitting .424 as a right-handed batter.
And he's ahead 2-0. Ground ball to third. He pulls that one right to Brandon.
You know, that's one of the things that impresses you about guys like Martinez and also Teixeira, who just left, that these guys can hit 300 just about every single year, and they're trying to maintain a swing on both sides of the plate, which is not easy to do. Most guys just have to worry about hitting either right-handed or left-handed, but they've got to perfect both sides.
How do they do that? Do they swing from both sides during BP?
Yes, and obviously against when a left-handed pitcher is starting, they would probably hit against a left-hander, so they get a lot of reps hitting right-handed, but it's awfully tough to do. You got to do a lot of tee work. You got to do a lot of front side work. You have to take lots of swings, almost twice as much as the other guys, because you're trying to maintain 2 sides.
Youkilis the batter.
Youkilis is strong. Got that big barrel chest. And he's been a nice performer in a Boston uniform, and they rewarded him with a nice long-term deal after last year. He's got some security now. A few Benjamins in his pocket, so to speak. Not that he didn't before.
1-2 on Youkilis, who's been on base in 14 straight games. He's also been hit 63 times in his career, hence the elbow guard.
Yeah, he's got a big pad there.
Driven foul.
When it's all said and done, he will be the all-time hit by pitch leader in Boston Red Sox history. He's not far off the pace.
I think Mo Vaughn leads that category for Boston.
He does, with 71. So he's about 8 away. He'll get there this year.
Here's the 1-2. In the air, deep to left field. Bosch going back. He'll turn on it off the base of the wall. Youkilis motoring towards second. Bosch has a good arm. Here's the throw. Safe. Youkilis hit that thing off the base and was running hard the entire way.
He hit a screaming seed on the first 1-2 pitch that was foul. But take a look at how he gets ready. I mean, he kind of takes that bat 1 time, 2 times, and by the time he gets that third one, the hands are connecting, and he got himself a fastball, and he drilled it. I mean, he drilled it. Got that old softball swing, too. Legs real close together.
Whatever works.
Oh, he's nice.
Here's J.D. Drew. Drew had a single in the first. He's 1 for 3. Thomas came on in the 6th inning. He's been on since. Looks like they're rustling again in the Detroit bullpen. Fouled off.
Let's take one more look at Bosch in the outfield, who allowed this ball to go over his head because he knew he had no shot, but he's learning how to play that wall. He got there, he grabbed that ball, and he threw a 1-hop seed into the infield. He's got some impressive arm strength. I mean, that ball was from the base of the wall, 1-hopper on the line.
The 0-2 is hit toward left field. Bosch on the move, still going back to the warning track. Youkilis returns back to second.
Bosch is starting to look a lot more comfortable out there. A lot more comfortable. Pretty much came up as a right fielder in the minor leagues, but he's playing left field here because Maglio occupies right field, and he's starting to catch the ball with one hand. You can see he always wants to go up with that second hand, which is what they're trying to get him not to do. And they want him to start acting out there with just one hand. As a matter of fact, Tom Brookins told me he was thinking about tying that hand down so he wouldn't use it.
That's like some fathers do when kids are really young, tie that right hand behind their back and make them throw left-handed.
Yeah. Make them use a fork left-handed, everything left-handed.
There's Big Papi.
He's been Big Papi today, too.
Ortiz has never had a 3-homer game. He has had 36 career 2-homer games, including tonight. Ball high from Thomas, 1-1. Big Papi has scored a couple of runs on those homers tonight, which gives him an even 900 runs scored in his outstanding career. The 1-1. Tigers have been out hit 9-3 in this game. Six home runs this year for Big Papi. Came in with 4. And the 2-1 pitch. 3 balls, 1 strike. Foul back out of play.
Well, if you missed it, this was Big Papi in the first. And then next time he came up in the fourth. Making Comerica Park look small today.
And that's tough to do. 3-2. Another foul back out of play. Futeni is warming up in the Detroit bullpen, left-handed.
We haven't seen Futeni in a while.
I think he got up in one of the Yankee games but didn't come in. Knee, of course, you can't see it under the hat, but he's sporting a mohawk.
Still got a sideburn. A mohawk with sideburns.
I don't think he shaved the sides down all the way. Apparently not. Swing and a miss. And Big Papi is down on strikes. They get a double, strand him in. We go to the bottom of the 8th. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. The 8th inning now at Comerica Park. 6-1 is our score. The Red Sox on top of the Tigers. It'll be Maglio Ordonez, Miguel Cabrera, and Brennan Bosch. This should be 3 good matchups here against the hard-throwing Daniel Bard, who came on to get the final 2 outs in the 7th. Been a good night for Maglio. He's been on base 3 times. Shatters his bat, rolls it back up the middle into center. Broken bat or not, that is a 3-hit game for Ordonez. Well, what's going on in the McDonald's Player of the Game voting? Let's get it updated for you. Right now, Brennan Bosch at 25% with a slim lead over Cabrera. Jackson at 19%. Brought to you by the McDonald's Deluxe Angus Burger.
And the Tigers have 4 hits, and Maglio's got 3 of them, and he ain't on there.
Don't ask me why. Here's Cabrera. Ooh, tried to hold up, but he went around. Strike ball. Cabrera, double play ball, pop up and a ground out. Ooh, look out. Hard coming up and in. That's going to get away from Martinez and move the runner to second. Used to be a really uncomfortable at bat, it appears, against this guy.
Well, I mean, if you're Bard and you throw as hard as he throws, I mean, if you're going to go inside, you got to go a little lower than that. You can't be going up around the letters and around the neck with that fastball. You just can't do it. You throw too hard.
Rolled foul.
Comcast is telling us that Bard has touched 100 miles an hour here today. And he threw a breaking ball at 84 miles an hour.
Here's the 1-2. And the 2-2, swing and a miss. Cabrera tried to hold. He just couldn't quite do it. And Bard has another strikeout, his second.
He pitched him really nice there. First 3 pass balls inside, and then the last 2 breaking balls away. Didn't throw him a strike. That last one at 84. But if you're looking inside, as Cabrera was looking, as you could see, you can't reach that. And that did turn out to be an uncomfortable at bat for Miguel.
Sure looked like it. 2 more strikeouts for Bard. And he leads the team out of the bullpen in strikeouts. Another shattered bat. Whoa, look at that throw. Safe. What happened there?
He lobbed it. We see it all the time. He was probably a little shaken up at the fact that the bat rolled right toward him. He had to jump over the bat. But then once he grabbed it, he had plenty of time to set his feet and throw, even though Bosch has good speed. But take a look at him after he jumps over the bat. And now he grabs the ball. He can plant and throw, but he runs and he throws and he lobs it. And when you see pitchers do that, that's exactly what they do most of the time. It's a throw that you don't ever practice. When they do PFPs, they don't ever practice this particular throw. You don't lob the baseball.
A little rainbow down there at first base. So there are Tigers now in first and third. I think you're right. I think that bat coming out had to have something to do with it, too.
Shook him up a little bit momentarily.
Here's Inge. Can they take advantage? Tigers down by 5. Only 1 out. A couple of broken bats in this inning. 1 ball, 1 strike on Brandon. Okajima is the lefty, and their closer Papelbon is the right-hander. First and third for Detroit with 1 out. Breaking ball spins inside, 2-1.
Well, if you're in, you pretty much know you're going to get that piece of cheese right here. But it will be high octane gas at 97, 98, so you got to get ready for it. Cheat a little bit. Catch it out front. Oh, my goodness, that's not right. That's not right. 2-1, partner with a 5-run lead in the 8th, and he drops Uncle Charlie on him. This is the big leagues.
Locked in, Jupp, that's for sure. Now it's 2-2.
You got to know. You don't know what's going on right now. Uh-oh.
That play didn't work, did it?
No. It's been a while since we've seen that play work.
Two pitch is high. 3-2. Bard came on in the 7th, hit the first batter he faced, but then he got a strikeout and a ground out. He's given up a single in this inning. And he threw one wildly, allowing Bosch to reach. Brandon waits on a 3-2. Fastball hit high in the air. Right center field. McDonald is there. This will score a run as Ordonez comes trotting in to make it a 6-2 game. It's a sac fly and an RBI for Brandon. Now Sizemore. He's 0 for 3. That breaking ball again. He's thrown it for strikes, too.
Yes, he has.
Fastball rides high. 1-1. Tigers got a run in the first inning and now a run here in the 8th. Nothing in between. Last year was Bard's first year at the major league level. Made his debut in May. And was the Red Sox Rookie of the Year last year. And he missed again. 3-1. Out of Houston, Texas, only 24 years old, Daniel Bard. Swing and a miss. Cool 97 miles an hour. Bard appeared in 49 games last year for the Red Sox. He struck out 63 in 49 innings last year as a rookie.
Big arm. Big arm.
And he lost it. Ball 4. Keep the door open. He has hit a batter, and he has now walked a batter. Gonna bring up Gerald Laird.
Tigers have walked 6 times today and have been hit once.
Only one of the walks coming around to score. 5 of the base on balls from the starter Buckholz. Laird takes strike 1 on the outer edge. First meeting between these two. Get away from Martinez. Oh, Sizemore going to second. And now they'll throw to third. And forced to go down there and tagged out is Bosch.
Got to run with your head up.
Inning over. We go to the ninth.
Ticket marketplace of the Detroit Tigers. Go to StubHub.com and choose your seats today. Well, let's take one more look at it. If you're Sizemore, you have to make sure that Bosch is not going. It looked like Bosch took a couple of steps toward third, and once Sizemore ran him off the bag, the throw by Martinez to Beltre, able to get a head-first sliding Brennan Bosch.
So the Tigers go back to the pen now. Fouteyni is on.
17 strikeouts this year for Fouteyni in 13 and a third innings against 11 walks. And as you can see, the opponent's batting average is just a shade over 150. So Nee has continued to build off of the impressive rookie season he had last year.
Ground ball left side. Brandon Inge gobbles up another. Beltre is gone. One away in the ninth. Tip of the cap to Brad Thomas tonight. 3 scoreless innings. Did a nice job in place of Max Scherzer.
If I can have your attention, please.
Got a pinch hitter. Call for Hermida. So Jeremy Hermida is out. Bill Hall is in. 375 career against Detroit with a home run.
Bill Hall was here a couple years ago playing for the Milwaukee Brewers when Justin Verlander threw that no-hitter. If my memory serves me correctly, he was about the only guy that got on base that day. I think he walked him twice that day.
Well, I know this. He didn't have a hit.
No. But he was on base, though. I think he walked him a couple times.
Well, Bill Hall is up there now to pinch hit. Got a wide open stance. Shoots it foul, back out of play. 2-1 on Hall.
Bill Hall can play everywhere as well. He can play center field. He can play shortstop, second base. He can play any of the infield positions and all of the outfield positions. Very versatile player is Bill Hall.
He's up in your neck of the woods, Paradise Valley, Arizona.
No. Not there. I'm not up there, partner.
There's a few
I'm not
Benjamins up there.
Yeah, I'm not there.
The 2-1. Driven high in the air, deep into left field. Bosch is going back to the track, to the wall, leaps, can't get it, it's gone.
How about that?
Pinch hit home run off the bench in the ninth. 7-2 Boston.
It's the first home run that Nee has given up this year.
The center fielder, Darnell McDonald.
Is it that easy, Bill Hall? It was 2-1. What is he throwing? Looked like a little changeup or something. Kind of sped his bat up. Bill Hall was looking for a fastball, and he was out there already ready to attack. And that changeup stayed up, and Big Brennan Bosch couldn't get it, although it looked like he got close.
So a 5-run spread again, 7-2. That's the 10th hit now for Boston in this game. Darnell McDonald, the batter. Knee misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike. A couple of hits tonight from McDonald, 2 for 3.
He is taking an advantage of this opportunity that's presented itself to him with Ellsbury and also Cameron being on the disabled list. They needed an outfielder, and Darnell McDonald with a little bit of experience coming into this year. Just a little bit. 68 games coming into this year at the major league level. But he is really enjoying himself now.
Baltimore, Minnesota, Cincinnati, the other teams that McDonald played for briefly. Red Sox now have 2 pinch hit home runs this year. Hall has just hit one, and the other belongs to this fellow right here, McDonald.
Terry Francona. It's gone to 5 postseasons since he's been the manager of the Red Sox, tied with Mike Scioscia in that span. Joe Torre has the most, 6 in the last 7 years.
Cabrera, and he's drifting. 2 gone. It's going to bring up Scutaro.
The shortstop.
Tigers in their half of the ninth. Laird, Santiago, Jackson due up. Scutaro has a single. He's also bounced into a double play in this game. There's a strike called on Scutaro. Knee replaces Thomas, who replaced Scherzer. Scherzer went 5 tonight and got hit with that 5-run first inning. One and one. A couple of lefties go at it tomorrow. It'll be Willis and Lester. One and two. Red Sox tonight have hit 4 home runs, so all of their runs have come via the long ball. Popped up. Knee is calling for it, but he's going to be shooed out of there by Inge. He was calling rather vociferously, too. Stability since 1849. Wallside Windows for a free in-home estimate. Call 1-800-521-7800. And by Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price, period. Last call for the Tigers as we go to the bottom of the ninth inning here. 7-2 in favor of the BOS Sox tonight. Hideki Okajima now is on for Boston. And Gerald Laird will lead it off against him.
17th game now for Okajima. Comes in with a 2-1 record. The earned run average a lot higher than he would like for it to be. But you could see that they're hitting 289 against him.
Laird takes strike one to start things off in the bottom of the ninth.
Okajima with that somewhat violent delivery once he gets ready to deliver the ball toward home plate. He's not even looking at his target. I guess you have to have some good control to do that.
Ball stays in the game to play left. 0-2. Okajima, since the start of 07, had 74 saves coming into this season, which was more than any other reliever.
Saves?
I'm sorry, holds. Did I say saves? Yeah, holds. Out of Kyoto, Japan. Ball high. Okajima, 34 years old. Laird swings and misses, and he goes down, one away.
Okajima kind of came over under the radar. He came over the same year that Daisuke came over, and of course, major league teams had to bid on the rights for Daisuke. And it appeared that Okajima did just as much work as Daisuke has. Take a look at how he just violently jerks that head down. He ain't even looking at where he's throwing the ball.
It's kind of amazing.
But he still throws strikes. But he had an outstanding first year when he came over with Daisuke.
Oof, straightening up. Santiago, who's already been hit by Bard.
Santiago's got, looks like he's got some kind of compression pad on that left elbow where he got hit, trying to keep the swelling down, I would guess.
The 1-0. That first year that you're talking about was 07 when he posted a 2.22 ERA.
He was outstanding.
69 innings, 17 walks. That's 63 strikeouts. The 2-0.
That's about it, too, for him with a fastball. 87, 88. But he's got some deception in his delivery, and we talked about that with the head violently jerking down. Red glove coming at you.
Popped up left side of the infield. Scudero. 2 gone. Tigers down to their final out.
This one was over in the first. 5 runs in the first, and awfully tough to come back from that.
Austin tonight is 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. First pitch strike. 0-1 on Jackson. Not going to get a whole lot easier tomorrow with John Lester on the hill for Boston. And you got Lackey in the finale. Lifted towards shallow left center field, dropping in for a base hit. Jackson keeps it going with his first hit tonight. There's Johnny Damon. Damon hitless 0 for 4. Again, strike one. That's in the air toward left center field. Hit pretty good. But Bill Hall is there to end the ball game. Tigers get a hit in the ninth, strand a man. Game one in this 3-game series goes to the Red Sox. They score 5 in the first and go on to win it tonight by a score of 7-2. Back with more in a moment.